And good evening, welcome to the Sports Desk. I am Paul the Ball, and what an interesting program we have for you this evening. Some of the giants in sports, and to be more specific, in softball here with me this evening. Believe it or not, two of the greats, Neville Sheep Smith and Alan Woodrow Smith. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
And so great to have you here this evening. Listen, I have tried for, you wouldn't believe how long to get these guys here. They're so busy, and it's been such a great rivalry between them. I want to get straight into the rivalry and talk about it. Neville Sheep, Alan Woodrow, I'm going to get you 2 minutes to call you both Smiths. First of all, let's get rid of the myth. Both Smiths, brothers, cousins, what's this all about? What's this Smith thing all about?
Cousins.
Cousins.
Yeah.
Cousins from...
Cousins.
There's serious rivalry going on here, so I'm going to have to dig these guys together to talk tonight. Listen, people want to know about it first of all. Let's talk about the rivalry. 2010, Alan Woodrow Smith, you are the champion. 2011, Neville Sheep Smith, you are the champion. The word is that Alan Woodrow Smith said he had retired you, and so you came back to prove it all. Is that true? Is it just hearsay? How did it all happen?
Well, actually, it's super. When my teammates came to tell me, man, you retiring for church, I said, yeah. They said, would they retire you? But then, but they wouldn't tell me this in my face. And when he did that, I really like, nah, man, this is serious. He said, I got 5 championships to win. No, in a row. I said, no, something. I tell the guys, if y'all could get some younger players with y'all and who's serious about playing, I will come back. You know, don't build a team around me. And I don't want to be the one that everybody depends on, but it's still better to be that way, and that's why I end up coming back.
What about? Let's talk a bit about you. Tell us a bit about the rivalry between yourself and Neville, and what brought you to the point to sort of tell him in front of his face that you're going to write him off.
Well, it started way back, right? Not that we somewhat rivals, but between me and Sheep, right, we see it as being the best thing for the sport at the time. We, between ourselves, maybe nobody knows, we decided to stay apart because a lot of people basically were complaining. If me and Sheep get together, it's hard to beat, and then you only have Mahasa, and you ain't have no other real pitcher. So the league would be unfair, right? So Sheep good in his own right, I good in my own right. We like the competition. The fans think we have personal vendetta, we can't play together, but we like to, when we come to play, family, friend, whatever, we put that aside. If you see we at a game, is war. If we have to argue on the field, we argue on the field, we play to win. Then after the field, we cool. We just like regular people.
As a game, yeah, and as a game, think about it as a game finish. You know, we always, if we realize someone meet him before the game start, we always shake each other's hand. After the game, same thing, always.
Okay, in case you're wondering, we are live this evening, and our website is jtvlive.net, jtvlive.net, and you can also give us a call, 340-1949, or if you don't want to call, you can send us a text. That's 300, we'll get my number right, 300-1950. So that's 300-1949. It's on the screen, and 300-1950. Send us a text. We're here speaking with Alan Woodrow Smith and Neville Sheep Smith. We're talking about the rivalry between the two guys, and as they've said, they've actually been cousins. They're related. So people don't realize that. That's why they're both Smiths, and it's been a friendly rivalry.
Yeah, and the thing about it, we played ball together for some time also. We played in the Pirates.
The Pirates
together one year. Actually, what happened is I was playing with for that year, and he came. He said, "By Sheep, we need to win a championship Eastern." Remember that?
Yeah, we need to go back Eastern.
Go back Eastern. Let's get back and do something. I said, "Would you? I can give you 1 year." Just like that. I said, "Would I give you 1 year?" And eventually, we ended up staying there for 2 years, and then I turned off again, and all of it was an interest of the sport, because like Woodrow said, one of the problems we're having is we don't have much pitchers, so you want to keep it level, because for years people have been saying that the East team had a lot of advantage too, because we have always had good pitchers in the East. We which is true because we realized that Eastern always had dominant pitchers coming up in the line.
I want to talk a bit about that, about the different, what we used to call village ball. But before I come to that, let's talk a bit about how you both learned how to pitch. I mean, is it because you're both Smiths and it's in the family blood that you both started pitching? Whenever you first, that's how you started pitching, and then you Woodrow?
Well, actually, I started pitching from through baseball. What happened is one day we were playing, I'm in South Bar, we were playing a game, the Purgers, a young team, little small team. I used to play shortstop. And Ephraim Penn decided, Ephraim and Natty, they said, man, we can't get a body. She come try to pitch. And I used to throw the ball hard. And I started from then. Then after that, now I started getting little pointers, looking at Bart Henley, looking at other pitchers and what's that. But the two most inspirational people who really teach me how to pitch, really, the first person was Nolan Davies. He showed me how to hold the ball and stuff like that. And when I get a little older, I went down to play in the Marlins, and Cecil Dawson, may God rest his soul, he showed me how to hold the ball and stuff like that also. And from being pitching a baseball to I learned how to hold the ball differently. But those two people really showed me how to pitch, I'll say.
Quite fascinating that he mentioned Cecil Dawson, of course, now deceased, and we rest his soul. Quite interesting, Neville, that I think few people would actually be aware of that you were actually inspired, influenced by Cecil Dawson.
Yeah. Cecil Dawson was a very, cunning, smart pitcher. He didn't have, I could say, much speed, but he could have moved the ball. He could have put it where he wanted to go and stuff like that. And those are the kind of things he'd come and tell me. You can't go through a bat. You have to learn to move the ball and stuff. And he just showed me. So that, I learned from other pitchers. I must say, my killer instinct came from big man, Boatman Haley.
Okay.
that is something that I learned from him. When he believed that he could have done anybody. But what I learned most from him is that you have to know to turn it off and turn it on.
Tell me something. Do you think that if Bert hadn't hurt his hand, that he would have been a prolific pitcher for many, many years, go beyond?
Yes. I really think that Bert could still come and hold a team for 2-3 innings right now. I feel he's still, and I think he would have been dominant.
Funny you should say that, because I'm thinking about guys Woodrow like Panhandle, who I swear that something like Panhandle's got to be 70. He's been pitching forever.
Yeah, that is true. Seriously, and I must take out my hat to him and say thanks to him, because for all the time that we win championship, that I'm now with the Hurricanes, I must say thanks to him, and also thanks to our Fred Kong, those two pitchers who've been there alongside of me, because people may say sheep, but without those guys, I won't make it that distance.
And for those of you who are wondering, Panhandle is Roy Panhandle Hill, and of course you all mentioned Kong, Fred there, so the people let's talk a bit about, in fact, what I'm going to do, we're going to take a break to thank our sponsors. When we come back, Woodrow, I want to hear a bit about you and the reason why you got into pitching. So we're going to take a pause for a cause to thank our sponsors. You listen to Sports Desk. I am Paul the Ball. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Digicel and Rightway are making Christmas even bigger and better this year. Get in the cash vault and grab up to $20,000 in cash, up to $10,000 in Rightway shopping vouchers, and up to $25,000 in credit and handsets. Simply top up $15 or more and get 3 chances to be a weekly finalist. Buy a BlackBerry or any handset on a new prepaid or postpaid service and get 4 chances. Or pay your bill on time and in full and get 5 chances. Rightway customers will receive 4 entries in the draw to be a weekly cash vault finalist with each purchase of $15 or more. Digicel, the bigger, better network. Terms and conditions apply. See press for details.
And welcome back to Sports Desk. I am Paul on the ball, and we're here talking softball this evening. And how exciting we are, first of all, to let you know we are live. The number should be on the screen. It's 300-1949. Now's the time to give us a call and to ask our guests this evening, whatever you want to ask. Or you can send us a text with 300-1950, and we'll answer your text. We're here with Alan Woodrow Smith, who was the champion for 2010, and Neville Sheepsmith, the champion for 2011, who was arguably retired in 2010 and came back in 2011. Woodrow, what brought you into softball? And tell us a bit about why you got in and how you started pitching, all that sort of stuff.
Well, simply put, right, I just used to be home outside in my yard playing with a tennis ball, pitching against the wall, just throwing the ball. And I used to mimic people like Bo T and Elmer Connor, and just trying to pitch like how they used to pitch, just remember how they pitch in a game, and just against my wall. If you honestly think that I could pitch, I didn't even want to play that position. I wanted to play second base because I could have feed better than anything else back then when I was younger. But one day I went on the field. My brother put me on the field, put me in the outfield. The ball hit me. The ball take the glove off my hand. My brother get upset. He sent me home. He tell me come out of the field because it seemed like I'd embarrassed him somewhat. But after that, right, the first time I actually pitched a softball was at a high school game. I went to watch a House 3, House 2 game. When I see the guys playing, I like, that's what they're doing? The next game I tell the teacher, look, I want to play. I went out, pitched a game, come back, we win the championship. But honestly, at that time I only could have just threw the ball. You know? Right. I didn't know the art of pitching a softball. And the first year when I joined the B-League, I learned one pitch. And I used to pitch at one pitch. And you'll be surprised to know who it is who taught me the art of a softball. It's somebody who you wouldn't think it was Zebulon McLean.
Zebulon McLean, wow.
Yeah. He showed me the art of how to hold a softball and the rotation of the softball and using the seam to get the softball to break in different positions. And from then, I started experimenting with my wrists and pitching the ball. And that's the way the story goes.
Very interesting story, because I'm thinking, obviously, you guys would know that Zeb and I came from the same sort of, tree where we both were into track and field, and Zeb broke my record and what have you. Was Zebulon a national player before? To my knowledge, I don't remember Zeb being that big in softball.
Yeah, he's one of the center field, the best center fielder we had for a long time.
Okay, all right, but let's take a call. We have a caller coming in. Good evening, you're on the Sports Desk. I'm Paul on the ball. Go ahead, please.
Yes, this is Kenny Thomas.
Good evening, Kenny. Great to hear you.
Yeah, I'm just watching my two superstars there, Mr. Neville Smith and Alan Smith. Both of them are two very brilliant guys, and both of them are very athletic. And I'm so happy that they get a chance, people get a chance to see what we are all about in Tortola. We have two stars there, like these two guys you're here right there now, and they don't get much praise. And I personally feel that what you're doing is a very good job. And I give you all the credit for enlightening, people on the kind of stars we have here.
Well, certainly appreciate that, Kenny. That's nice of you to say. Listen, let me tell you, these guys are all so busy. You wouldn't believe, it was tough to get them together as it is. But it is something very special. It's the first time I've actually been in the same room together with the two of them. Although I know both of them individually. So what you're saying is actually really true.
Yeah, I told you, I was in Thomas just a couple weeks ago, and my brother dropped me off to watch the basketball NCAA, and he went there at a tournament of softball there at the field, and I asked him who won the tournament. He told me Sheep won his game and Allen won his game, and I wasn't surprised. Some of them guys go, they for real, they're not joke.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, I certainly remember when we went to the Pan American Games in 1987, when we beat Venezuela and Cuba, they say, who are these people? Where is the BVI? Why are they beating softball? they couldn't believe it. So certainly our level of play, Kenny, is extremely high, and these guys are superstars in their own right.
Yep.
So
Well, y'all have a good evening.
Hey man, thanks for
Thanks, Connie.
Continue to bless y'all.
thank you very much. Appreciate the call.
Okay, good.
Think about it. Kenny was a softball player too. You know? I mean, both me and Kenny, we started playing softball and basketball, and he chose to just remain with basketball, and I decided to. Man, I had enough of this basketball. I chose to softball because my love for the sport was basketball. I wouldn't lie to you.
But I mean, that's probably we can probably get into that a bit more. But let's just take another caller. A caller coming in. Good. Okay, we haven't got that caller yet. He'll try again, please. The number 300-1949. 300-1949. If you want to call, send a text to 300-1950, and we'll be answering your text shortly as well. So don't feel that they're in vain. So please send a text or give us a call. We're here with Alan Woodrow Smith and Neville Sheep Smith, both champions in their own right. And as Kenny Thomas just called in and said, these guys are most certainly superstars. And you know, when we talk about somebody being a superstar, guys, let me ask you a question. Do you, as individuals, feel like a superstar?
No.
I mean, hearing somebody say that, no, you're a superstar. How do you feel about that?
I ain't never worried about it. To me, I humble. I mean, my thing is I play the sport because I like it, and it don't get to my head. You know, what I like most is that when I could see that I could help somebody to maybe get to the level I am at, or represent the BVI, and we win. That's my height there.
Well, I don't want to get into that too much now, but I remember back in the days when we went to school together, you jump in over 6 foot. You know? And I remember the days when you used to play against the A's and stuff. People used to come together to watch you dunk. So you're being very humble.
Right.
And I have stayed up many late nights just to go just to see Woodrow pitch. So, I mean, these guys are superstars in their right. So what I want to talk a bit now, guys, about is something which I'm becoming more and more passionate about all the time. And it's what I heard Roy Pickering refer to as village softball. And what is village softball? Can it exist anymore in the British Virgin Islands? And should we actually have it?
I speak from as a president of softball point of view here on this. I believe it can work, but it cannot work with the older teams that are in there now. What we have to try to do is work with the schools and start doing like a school league out of the village, like an Eastern school, a Lalo school, a Sika Bay school. Then you may get back that village aspect of it. And then from those same teams, you may be able to start a junior league, like a junior league that we're doing now. It exists right now because the junior teams that we have, most of them are from different villages. But the problem is that, you know, some kids may live in Eastern, go school to Western. So you have to watch how you juggle it. But to me, it exists right now in a junior league. But what we would like to happen is we want to play in the villages, but the problem there is the grounds.
Okay, the problem with the grounds. What about you, Woodrow? How do you see village softball working from your perspective, from your area where you live and what have you? Tell us a bit about that.
Well, for me personally, that's part of why I have my team right now. I decided Eastern was left in the cold for some start of years. So I decided, go Eastern, get with my manager of my team. I tell him, give me some guys, we're going to bring back and have an Eastern team. What I would like to see, basically is, like, before the league start, Eastern play Seacles Bay, play Tong, play Hurricanes, or wherever they decide to locate, Bargos Bay, Blue Wings, just for the friends. I mean, you have some older people in the Eastern area, they wouldn't come to Tong on a regular basis. But if you decide to have a game in Eastern Greenland, fairly perfect, you could get the people in the nearby area. Then that would pique an interest, and then maybe out of that, when we decide to come down to play, you could bring a couple safari full of people, come down, come watch. We play in town, and it would be nice. But right now, like Sheep said, you have to start somewhere. Maybe it bypass all level right now, all time, and you have to start with the youths and then move on from there.
Okay, I'm going to throw a spoke in the wheel now for both you guys. I don't know who want to answer this one. We actually haven't discussed this before. Talking about teams, where would a team like the Latinos fit in? Would the Latinos be a town team, and I remember years ago when the Latinos won the league, it became very controversial, Neville. And since then they haven't come back with a full team since then. But that year was a huge year. They had the music, they had the drums and everything.
But I like how you said that the controversy. Look at every team they're playing.
Well, I didn't want to mention that you were actually pitching for the team, but never she's was pitching for the Latinos and they won the championship.
Yeah, controversy. But I think the Latinos was very good for the league. Now, I'm not too sure how to put it, because see what happened with the Latinos, if they don't have a dominant pitcher, they feel they kind of like they quit. Last years they didn't finish out the league.
Would it be acceptable for them to bring one in from Santo Domingo?
I have no problem with that. I mean, I know about would it, but I welcome again, but I welcome the competition.
What about you, Woodrow? Would you like to see a Santo Domingo pitcher come in to pitch for Latinos team or local?
Well, it had two here. We didn't have no problem with it, but they were just other matters that caused that. But as to say, where they would fit in as whether Tongue or Eastern, I would say you have the Eastern team, the Invaders, right? You have the Tongue team, the Hurricanes. You have the Blue.
I
was gonna ask that question actually.
The Hurricanes.
We put you as the Okay, that's fine. You have the Blue Wings from Vargas Bay, right? You have the Braves or the Boards or whatever the name from. And you could get a Western team, right? You have 4 league teams there.
Right.
The rest of the teams that don't have a home, you have a main field. That's the Tongue field.
Right.
So everybody else would be considered central. That's the capital and the main place where you play. You just leave everybody to there, unless you could get 2 or 3 teams from Eastern or something. That's how I would put it.
Okay. You're listening to Sports Desk. I'm Paul on the ball, and of course we want to thank our sponsors, Gatorade, this lovely refreshing drink for sponsors this evening. We're going to take a pause for a cause to thank our sponsors. When we come back, a bit more about youth development in softball and in general. We're going to get the guys to pick their brains, so stick and stay. Paul on the ball. We'll be right back.
Being number one always feels great. Nagico Insurances is number one in insurance in the British Virgin Islands because we've made serving you our number one priority. We provide the best customer service, and most importantly, our highly qualified team provides you with the very best in insurance advice to protect you, your family, and your business. Here are a few facts to keep in mind. Nagico is the largest provider of general insurance, is the number one auto insurance provider. Nagico has the fastest growing medical insurance portfolio, has the most qualified group of insurance personnel to advise you on your insurance needs, and Nagico makes year-round contributions to education, community projects, and sports in the British Virgin Islands. Be protected by team number one. Nagico Insurance's British Virgin Islands. Call today at 494-6433. We've got you covered.
Digicel and Rightway are making Christmas even bigger and better this year. Get in the cash vault and grab up to $20,000 in cash, up to $10,000 in Rightway shopping vouchers, and up to $25,000 in credit and handsets. Simply top up $15 or more and get 3 chances to be a weekly finalist. Buy a BlackBerry or any handset on a new prepaid or postpaid service and get 4 chances. Or pay your bill on time and in full and get 5 chances. Rightway customers will receive 4 entries in the draw to be a weekly cash vault finalist with each purchase of $15 or more. Digicel, the bigger, better network. Terms and conditions apply. See press for details.
And welcome back. You're listening to Sports Desk. I am Paul on the ball, and we have two really great guys here with us this evening, Neville Sheep Smith and Alan Woodrow Smith, both softballers, of course. Sheep champion of 2011, Woodrow champion of 2010, and as Neville says that he returned in 2011 because Alan Woodrow Smith retired him. They're cousins, I'm getting two of them confused. But as we left off in the last section, we were talking a bit about guys, we're talking about the club aspect of it, and I was quite amazed that you straight couldn't agree on the Hurricanes being an East End club or a town club. What's it all about, Woodrow?
Well, that mainly comes from the fans, if you ask me. The fans say, well, they have a lot of town guys playing. It depends on where most of the guys from. They would just class, because like when you look at the upsetters were from all over the place. But people used to say it's a country team because they had like 5-6 guys from country. It just where the guys make up from mostly, and who the captain is, they would say, well, that's a town country, Seagulls with team. That's how they class it.
So a couple of years ago, we had a situation where softball, for some strange reason nobody seemed to know, began to take a nosedive. It's fortunately come back together. Now, you two guys are part of the main reason. The rivalry between you two has certainly sparked people's imagination, as well as, of course, we have to mention Terry Shinnery in a minute and what Terry has done for women's softball. But would you say that is a huge aspect of softball, and is it important to have different sections, to have a specific East End team, a Seacoast Bay team, a team from West End? Is that going to be important to bring fans back and supporting their individual parts of the island?
Yes, it is. I mean, I would say yes, because really and truly, if you didn't have a team from East, and you see it happen, I think 1 year we didn't have a team, right? And you seldom see anybody from East come to represent, support it. So yes, it plays a very important role. And just to say again, like I said, the Latinos, I mentioned the Latinos. I can remember back when we had the Latinos, the league was on a nosedive.
Correct.
When the Latinos came back in and you hear them there, all Latinos, bam, bam. And I remember Jim telling me, shut up, as a game on forfeit. Right? He couldn't forfeit the game because as a fan. When we go, we're abroad and we hear fans cheering their team. Yeah, amazed. You know what I mean? And to me, that brought back softball to another level, and now with me, what we were playing, and along with Mahasa and stuff, now that rival again it has came back, But the thing now is like the Blue Wings used to dominate. Now the Blue Wings now is in the back seat. I was saying this so that I go and get myself fixed.
But we need a different discussion about the Blue Wings now, because the Blue Wings, the whole makeup of the Blue Wings has changed a bit. Just to let you know, you're here. We're live with Neville Sheep Smith and Alan Woodrow Smith. The number to call is 300-1949, or send a text 300-1950, or jtvlive.net. You can link with us on the wide web. I'll get that mixed up, guys. Let's move on a bit now, because you guys hold other hats as well. Neville, you are presently the president of the association. I was going through the list here of the other members. We have the vice president is Chappie Majuro. We have the secretary, Marietta Headley, and the assistant secretary is Faith Paul Majuro. Ivy Foy is the PRO. Violet De Castro is the treasurer, and Arnold Letson, he does the stats. Tell us a bit about the association, and is it a situation where you are president because you feel that you need to be there to keep it going, or is it because you just love being president? Or is that a tough question?
No, I'm there because I was voted in there.
Okay.
Me being one to be the president, I would say no. I mean, I'm there, I can do a job. Once you put me to do something, I can deal with it. But softball is not about one person. It's not. I mean, that's the thing. The problem we have in here. A lot of people leave. A lot of this thing for maybe the president to do, and that need to change. I mean, actually, I think what need to happen is that you should have a junior association that will help, you know, the Sabah, and that if in case, you know, the older guys go, the newer guys come in. And I think that's something that need to be introduced so that you can keep Sabah alive, because you need to get that young thinking there also. Because we older folks there thinking in the box, where the younger guys going to think outside the box.
Right. I'm going to throw Woodrow in the deep end here now, because when I go to softball, I hear a lot of geography remarks about you being president and a player as well. Woodrow, as a player and as a top player in the league, have you found, have you felt even from your heart that there's a conflict with Sheep as president and also being the top pitcher in the league, arguably between him and yourself?
Not on a regular basis, right?
Not on a regular basis.
Not on a regular basis.
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
I think I've touched a nerve here.
No, really. He handles the position okay to me. He stays out of most of the affairs of the association. But last year in the championship, there was a time that a decision was needed. Me and he kind of had it out on the field, basically. I figured he was to make a decision. He stayed back and waited a little bit too late for my concern, and then he made a decision that wasn't to my favor.
Right.
And I think he did it too late, and he didn't come forward and do what he should have done at an earlier point in time. But for the regular rest or running of the league, it's alright to me. I don't have no problem with it.
He's doing fine. That's good. Okay, Neville, let's, I don't want to drag on with that. I mean, obviously, people ask these questions, so it's good to bring it out, and you guys are here now. Let's talk a bit about the association. What's the future for softball in the BVI? Where are we going with it? What's happening? Is there an annual award ceremony due? Is there elections due? What's happening with softball?
Right now, we have the annual award banquet coming up the 11th of December. It's a Sunday. I think it starts between 6:30 7 o'clock, where you see a lot of the athletes who win the respective positions get awards, and we also honor past players, you know, and past fans, whoever, umpires for the year. We also will have a tournament, hopefully a prospective tournament that should be happening this year in June or July, which would be the English-speaking confederation that was just recently formed, where they're going to start hosting tournaments. And we were asked to host maybe the first tournament, which would be the junior boys tournament. If that comes off, it will be here. Then after that, they'll have the female, then have the junior female, then the males tournament. Also, there's election in January. I think there's election in January for all the positions that are being held.
Have you set a date for that yet?
I don't think we have set the date, but it will be in January. It have constitutional right. It have to be
in January.
In those days.
Constitution.
Yeah. So that will take place. I'm encouraging people who are interested in softball. The position does not belong to no one. You know, it's a position, if you feel that you could come and represent and do better and improve the sport, I encourage you to come out. I mean, it's not a Neville Smith softball league. And I encourage people like saying Ryan Pickering, who at times they're on the radio talking about the thing, and I encourage them to come and be a part of softball. You know, instead of talking about it sometimes, which Ray does a good job talking about it, but I'll encourage the older players who've been out there to come in and be part of the softball.
Okay. On to you, Woodrow, a bit. I also know you've been doing some traveling, and it's also linked in with Neville. Both of you have been overseas recently. Tell us a bit about that, and I know you also traveled with the St. John's team. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, well, 2 weekends ago we were in St. Thomas. We had the first leg of a Tri-Island tournament. The next leg should be here in January. Me personally, I play with St. John, the Virgin Islands Eagles. That's where I do most of my traveling with. I travel to places like Florida, Atlanta, and actually this year we're hoping to go to Panama to play in March. Yeah, so that's what I'm about. And in the meantime, I spend some of my time on the field. We train in a girls team. So I also go along with us to go in Panama to Atlanta for a tournament, and also for the Tri-Island tournament. getting them together so they could play for the tournaments.
Okay, I don't want to leave the text guys out, otherwise they're going to kill me. We had a text coming in for you, Mr. Neville Sheep Smith. It says, are you planning on taking your game up a level next towards the MLB? Would you be the guy would you be the local guy for the MLB? Are you following that question there?
Major League, I too old for that now. Major League,
yeah.
I too old for that now. I mean, I hope that somebody could step up to the plate. And actually, I think we have a few guys away right now, at least away who is playing baseball and softball. That if you look out, you might see one or two guys hitting the spot.
Well, probably Woodrow is the person we should be asking that question then. Are you interested in Major League Baseball?
I'm also.
But there's the compliment though. I mean, I thank the person for that. I mean, it shows that I think that my game is up to that level, so appreciate that.
Yeah, certainly that's a great thing to ask. We didn't touch on your St. John's team and the fact that you play there. As we're talking a little bit about controversy with Sheep, have you found any controversy the fact that you've been linked with the St. John's team or anything like that?
Well, speaking of controversy, you'll see some controversy in January because the St. John team will be in the BVI. We'll be in the second leg of the Tri-Island tournament, and if the fans want, they can come out, they could see me and Sheep at it again. That's pre to the softball opener, which should be sometime in March. So me and Sheep will be at it. The Virgin Islands Eagles will be up against the Hurricanes and St. Croix and the Reds, I think it is.
Great. So that means there's actually a lot of softball going to be happening here soon. We're also expecting an election very soon,
yes,
and an award ceremony. What are some of the things that actually you're planning for the award ceremony?
Before we go to that one,
Okay.
I would also like to stress that the Junior League will also be opening around January also for both
Okay.
males and females.
All right.
For the ceremony banquet, you'll see a lot of the people get their awards. Like you see people get like MVP, best pitcher, most hits, those kind of stuff. And like I said, we have some honorees, some older players, and who do we tell them thanks for the service that they give to softball.
I don't know if I'm out of place here, but you think you guys might be maybe doing something for Cecil Lawson in there, or something of that nature? Would that not be appropriate?
Well, I can't say that there's something be happening then. I'm not too sure if we had him done. I'm not too sure because we had a list. And I know his name came up also as part of one of the honorees, but I don't know if it was on that list also.
Right. Well, okay, guys, we're just about to wrap up now. Any final comments? We'll start with Woodrow. You're the president. You give it the last word.
Well, what I've been seeing happening, right, is a lot of young guys want to play the sport, right, but they feel that they're not competitive enough when it comes to like things like the pitching. We don't want them to be discouraged because they're not on a team with Sheep or Woodrow or Mahasa to don't play the game. Because the next 5 years, 4 years, Sheep, myself out of it, or even if I remain, Mahasa may be out. You know what I'm saying? They would, maybe their level mightn't be as high as ours on right now, but the sport will continue and they will grow. We will be there to coach them or whatnot, but they need to continue to grow the sport.
I couldn't agree with you more. A good example is Dal Robinson. His first sport was not softball. A lot of people don't realize that. Dal came along, and I mean, I wouldn't say nearly beat Sheep, but he was in the final. I think I was in the book. He really had him. I had that, but he was there, and it's a credit to him. And the same thing as you're saying. I mean, he could have said, "Well, I ain't pitching because I can't beat Woodrow and I can't beat Sheep." What about you, Sheep? Any final words?
Well, what I'd like to say is I'd like to send an invitation out there to male and female that anybody who wants to learn to pitch, if they let me know, I'll make the time. I have no problem with it, but you have to be dedicated and serious because I'm a busy person and I always try to take time out to give back something because like I said, I'm on my way out and before I go, I like to give what I have to somebody.
Sure. Any final promotions of things that are happening right now in softball or just after Christmas? So just put it in people's minds again.
Well, just the banquet on the 11th. I mean, hope everybody could show up. There's $50 a ticket. You come and eat as much as you can eat.
Can they get a ticket
Enjoy
from?
yourself. You can get a ticket from any member of the association. You can get a ticket from.
Okay.
Also, it's a formal event.
Formal, so dress formally.
And I hope that it's just not for players, it's for fans who come out and enjoy it and see your favorite player and communicate with him, talk with him. It's a fun night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, it's certainly been a pleasure. I hope we can do this again. It was well worth the work that you two together. you don't know we're getting you guys together. Listen, I want to say a special thanks to our sponsors. It's Gatorade Roton Wholesale for what a lovely drink. Guys, drink it up, man. It's good stuff. So it's only left to say, appreciate you guys being with us. I'm Paul the Ball. You'll be listening to Sports Desk. Until next time, good sports on ya.